Days of Our Lives exclusive preview. Theo's enigmatic phone call ignites suspense as Stephanie and Alex unearth a shocking secret. In the ever-whirling world of Salem, where secrets simmer just beneath the surface, the upcoming episode of Days of Our Lives on November 6, 2025, promises a whirlwind of intrigue and emotional revelations that could reshape alliances and unravel long-buried truths. As familiar faces navigate personal crises and unexpected encounters, viewers are in for a roller coaster of tension. From cryptic communications to heartfelt warnings that echo through the town's storied history, this preview delves deeper into the episode's pivotal moments, highlighting how these interconnected storylines build toward potential game-changing twists. Theo's tense encounter with Gabi at DiMera Enterprises. Theo Carver, portrayed with intensity by Tyler Joseph Andrews, steps into a high-stakes role at DiMera Enterprises, where corporate maneuvering meets personal vendettas in ways that could expose vulnerabilities long thought secure. During a clandestine meeting with Gabi Hernandez, played by the dynamic Sherry Jimenez, Theo grapples with the pressures of DiMera's cutthroat environment, where loyalty is tested and hidden agendas lurk in every boardroom shadow. Gabi, ever the shrewd strategist, with her history of navigating power plays alongside the DiMeras, arrives with proposals that blend business acumen and subtle manipulations, perhaps aiming to secure her own foothold amid the family's ongoing power struggles. Their discussion veers into uncharted territory, touching on recent corporate scandals that have left DiMera's reputation in tatters. And Theo finds himself weighing alliances that could either bolster his position or drag him into a web of deceit. Adding layers to this encounter, whispers of past betrayals, Gabi's turbulent romance with Stefan and her rivalries with other family members surface, forcing Theo to confront how his decisions might ripple through the DiMera dynasty, potentially alienating key players or forging unlikely partnerships that redefine the company's future. The cryptic call that leaves Theo on edge. Just as Theo believes he's gaining control over his DiMera responsibilities, a mysterious phone call shatters the fragile calm, pulling him into a vortex of uncertainty that hints at larger conspiracies brewing in Salem's underbelly. The caller, whose voice is distorted and identity shrouded in secrecy, delivers fragmented warnings about impending threats to the Carver family, possibly tied to Abe's recent political entanglements or forgotten enemies from Theo's own past. This isn't just a random interruption, it's a calculated move that forces Theo to question the motives of those around him, including Gabi, whose presence at the meeting now feels suspiciously timed. As the conversation unfolds in hushed tones, Theo's mind races through possibility: could it be a rival executive sabotaging DiMera from within, or a personal foe seeking revenge for old grievances like the lingering fallout from Lonnie's imprisonment. The call's ominous tone escalates Theo's internal conflict, blending professional paranoia with familial duty, and sets the stage for him to seek counsel from trusted allies, potentially drawing in characters like Abe or even Johnny DiMera, whose own DiMera ties add complexity to the unfolding drama. Stephanie and Alex's groundbreaking revelation. At the heart of the episode's emotional core lies the burgeoning partnership between Stephanie Johnson, brought to life by Abigail Klein's nuanced performance, and Alex Kyriakis, embodied by Robert Scott Wilson's charismatic energy, as they stumble upon a discovery that could upend their lives and expose Salem's tangled web of deceptions. Following Stephanie's recent bold confession about her lingering doubts over past relationships, the duo delves into overlooked documents and digital trails that reveal a hidden connection linking Alex's Kyriakis heritage to a long-forgotten DiMera asset. Perhaps a suppressed will or a concealed financial scheme orchestrated by the late Victor Kyriakis. Their investigation, conducted in a dimly lit office amid stacks of confidential files, uncovers discrepancies that suggest foul play, including forged signatures and tampered records that tie back to broader Salem intrigues involving corporate espionage. This revelation not only strains their budding romance, but also propels them toward confrontations with powerful figures, analyzing how such a find might redistribute wealth and influence across families, ultimately forcing Stephanie to reconcile her Johnson family loyalties with her growing attachment to Alex, while he grapples with the ethical dilemmas of his inherited legacy. Roman's urgent caution to Paulina amid rising tensions. Roman Brady, the steadfast pillar of the Brady clan, delivers a sobering warning to Paulina Price, emphasizing the perils of her ambitious pursuits in Salem's political arena, where ambition often collides with moral quandaries. As Paulina navigates her role on the city council, Roman pulls her aside in a quiet moment at the Brady pub, detailing intelligence he's gathered about shadowy figures circling her administration, possibly linked to Dimra's influence or rival council members eyeing her position. This advisory exchange highlights Paulina's vulnerability, drawing on her history of bold decisions like her past deceptions involving Lonnie's paternity that now make her a target for blackmail or sabotage. Roman's counsel, delivered with his trademark blend of tough love and protective instinct, urges Paulina to fortify her defenses, perhaps by aligning with old allies like Abe, while dissecting the broader implications for Salem's governance, where one misstep could lead to scandals that erode public trust and fracture community bonds. Gabi's tender support for a struggling Javi. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Gabi Hernandez extends compassionate comfort to Javi, her close confidant, whose recent setbacks have left him reeling from professional and personal blows in the fast-paced world of Salem's elite circles. As Javi confides in her about mounting pressure Esperp's job losses at a local firm or the strain of family expectations, Gabi listens intently, offering insights drawn from her own resilient journey through loss and redemption. Their heartfelt conversation, set against the backdrop of a serene park bench, explores themes of perseverance, with Gabi sharing anecdotes from her time rebuilding after prison, encouraging Javi to channel his frustrations into constructive paths like community advocacy. This interaction not only deepens their bond, but also provides a counterpoint to the episode's darker tones, analyzing how Gabi's empathy might inspire Javi to confront his demons, potentially leading to alliances that challenge the status quo in Salem's social fabric. Gwen's empathetic gesture toward EJ in turbulent times. Gwen Rachek, known for her sharp wit and complex loyalties, shows an unexpected side as she sympathizes with EJ Demera, whose world is crumbling under the weight of family betrayals and legal entanglements. In a tense yet intimate scene at the Demera mansion, Gwen approaches EJ with genuine concern over his latest ordeals, rumors of embezzlement charges, or the fallout from Nicole's departure, suffering words of solace that cut through his armored facade. Her empathy stems from shared experiences of isolation within powerful families, prompting a dialogue that examines EJ's internal battles with rage and regret, while Gwen subtly navigates her own motives, perhaps seeking to leverage this moment for her journalistic pursuits. This exchange adds emotional depth to EJ's arc, illustrating how vulnerability can bridge divides in Salem, and hints at future collaborations that might expose corruption rippling through the Demera empire. Theo's growing concerns stir worrying in Abe. Finally, Theo's mounting anxieties over the mysterious call and Demera dealings spill over, causing deep worrying for his father, Abe Carver, who senses the toll on his son's well-being amid Salem's relentless chaos. Abe, drawing from his mayoral experience and paternal intuition, notices Theo's distracted demeanor during a family dinner, probing gently into the sources of his unease, whether it's the corporate intrigue or echoes of past traumas like his near-death experiences. Their poignant discussion unpacks the father-son dynamic with a buffering guidance rooted in his own navigation of political minefields, while analyzing how Theo's worries could foreshadow broader threats to the Carver legacy, urging a united front against unseen adversaries in the ever-shifting Salem landscape. This episode weaves these threads into a tapestry of suspense, where personal discoveries and warnings converge to heighten the stakes for Salem's residents. Part 2. Days of Our Lives, Tuesday, November 3, 2025. Brady's harsh lesson, Xander's new vow, and the night Tate and Holly finally break their promises. Hello, and welcome back to another gripping day in Salem, where no secret stays buried, no heart stays unbroken, and no costume party ends without a scandal. Tuesday's episode of Days of Our Lives gave longtime fans everything they could ask for: emotion, regret, a touch of humor, and plenty of heartbreak wrapped in Salem's signature drama. As Halloween's echoes still linger in the town square, old wounds reopen, new promises are made, and others tragically are shattered. Halloween may be over, but Salem isn't done with masks yet. Even though the pumpkins are starting to rot and the decorations are being taken down, Salem's residents are still caught up in the haunting aftereffects of Halloween. For Tate and Aaron, the night refuses to end both literally and emotionally. The episode opens with Tate still grumbling about his Halloween costume, a circus ringmaster, of all things. It's the kind of silly teenage frustration that feels out of place in a town where love triangles and murder plots are the norm, but it quickly becomes clear there's more beneath the surface. Aaron, normally upbeat and easygoing, seems distracted and distant. Tate, noticing the change in his best friend, tries to reach out a small but sincere gesture that reminds us these two young men have more depth than their playful banter usually shows. When Aaron finally opens up, we learn he's been struggling with racing not just on the track, but emotionally, especially when it comes to his complicated relationship with his father. The tension between chasing a dream and meeting expectations weighs heavy on him. Tate listens, genuinely trying to be supportive, but when Aaron accidentally mentions Holly, the conversation takes a sharp and painful turn. Tate's voice cracks as he asks, "What's wrong with our relationship?" It's the kind of question that has no easy answer. For weeks, their young love has been tested by secrets, jealousy, and the kind of miscommunication that seems to haunt every couple in Salem. By the end of their exchange, both boys agree to leave the drama behind for a while. No girlfriends, no tears, just two friends trying to find themselves again. But in Salem, no drama never lasts long. Holly's distraction and Ari's persuasion, one more night of Halloween madness. Meanwhile, across town at the bookstore, the Halloween spirit is still alive and causing its usual chaos. Pirate Ari, yes, still in costume, can't stop raving about Stephanie's big Anastasia reveal from earlier in the evening. The energy is high, and the excitement is infectious except for Holly, who slumped over a stack of books, trying desperately to focus on her studies. It's a perfect little moment of irony. Salem's younger generation, surrounded by the remnants of make-believe, trying to grow up while still caught between childhood fun and adult heartbreak. When Ari realizes Holly isn't in the mood for Halloween anymore, he slams the book shut, insisting she needs a break. "Come on, it's still Halloween at least for tonight," he says, grinning from ear to ear. Holly protests at first, wanting to stay in and study. But Ari knows there's more going on. He gently teases, then pushes a little harder until she admits it. Things with Tate aren't going well. The promise they made to each other, to be honest, to stay together, to fight for what they had, is starting to crumble. By the time Ari coaxes her into dressing up and joining him at the plaza, there's a flicker of the old Holly again, hopeful, uncertain, but ready to face whatever's waiting. She doesn't realize that what's waiting might be heartbreak, Brady's tough love, a father's punishment. While Salem's youth tries to untangle their messy feelings, Brady Black is facing a challenge of his own, and it's one no father ever truly wants. Rachel, his daughter, has crossed yet another line, and this time Brady knows he can't let it slide. Viewers have watched Brady struggle for years between his deep love for his daughter and his fear that she's inheriting her mother Kristen's manipulative streak. Today, he draws a firm line. Though we don't see every detail of the punishment, the tone is clear. This isn't just about grounding her or taking away privileges. It's about teaching her accountability. Brady's stern face and Rachel's wounded expression say more than words ever could. It's a heartbreaking reminder that in Salem, even love can come with consequences. Xander's vow, a man torn between redemption and revenge. And then there's Xander Cook, a man who seems to live on the edge of sin and salvation. After the chaos of recent days, Xander makes a vow that could change everything. He's had enough of being the man everyone doubts, the one who keeps losing the people he loves because of his own mistakes. But the question, as always, is whether Xander's vows come from a place of genuine change or wounded pride. In a quiet, powerful scene, Xander looks into the mirror, perhaps seeing not the villain Salem paints him as, but a broken man trying to find his way back. He promises himself that this time will be different. That he'll make things right. That he'll win back his dignity, and maybe even Sarah's trust. But longtime fans know better. Xander's promises, no matter how sincere, have a way of leading to more destruction before redemption ever comes. The night ends, but the shadows remain. As the episode draws to a close, Salem's streets grow quiet again. The Halloween decorations sway in the wind. In the distance, laughter fades, replaced by the hum of unresolved tension. Brady sits alone, questioning whether he did the right thing as a father. Xander stares into the night, wondering if he still has a future worth fighting for. And somewhere in the plaza, Tate and Holly, once full of young love and impossible promises, drift further apart under the same cold sky. Halloween might be over, but in Salem, masks are never truly gone. They just change faces. Final thoughts. Tuesday's episode of Days of Our Lives reminds us why the show remains a favorite for generations. It balances humor and heartache, youth and experience, love and loss, all against the familiar backdrop of a town where every decision carries a price. For fans who've been watching since the beginning, It's a classic Salem day. Lessons learned the hard way, vows broken and renewed, and the faint, persistent hope that tomorrow might bring forgiveness, or at least, understanding.